Hey, shalom and welcome back. Today I was asked to annihilate this video from Tovia Singer. So let's get started.
The perfect time to bring up Emmanuel, because we all know that because of the Gospel of Matthew, Christians love citing Isaiah and saying, oh, you see, it says right there, Emmanuel's going to be born. That's Jesus, because Matthew claims that that's Jesus. Luke never says that. Luke never mentions Emmanuel. In fact, none of the other Gospels ever mention him. So what are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on that? Matthew does this 11 times, fulfillment citations, mostly packed into the infancy narrative. And as it turns out, this is one example, Matthew 1:23, of the first gospel misquoting the Hebrew Bible. And he does it in so many ways, it's mind-blowing. So there's no discussion in Isaiah 7:14 of a virgin conceiving. The text says...
I love how he says that so confidently. But I've covered this so many times. It's like the most covered subject on my channel. One of my favorite videos where I cover this is right here. Let me show you. So on my channel, you'll see that video right here. It's called Friendly Conversation with Orthodox Jew on Isaiah 7. Elliot is wonderful to speak with.
The objection I would have as a Jew who reads biblical Hebrew, I'm sure you would know the objection I have to the difference in translations.
Yeah, so you would say that Halma is not referring to a virgin, but it's Betsula rather, and then you would have probably the opinion of Rashi, which that the child is the child from chapter 8 rather than Hezekiah, right?
Right, so
if you want to see me break that down, watch that video, because why would you want to hear the same stuff that I already have out? I'd be wasting your time, right? Let's get on to the next point. All right, back to the rabbi.
He led this baying, behold, the young woman is pregnant, will bear a son, v'kara shemo Emmanuel, and she will call his name Emmanuel. The only problems that passage presents to the church?
None.
So they have to alter it till it's almost unrecognizable. So Matthew takes out the definite article because this is really a conversation between Isaiah and Ahaz.
So he's implying that because here it doesn't say the virgin, that the definite article was, quote, removed, then that's because Matthew recognizes that there's a problem, which is that Tovia Singer claims the problem would be that Isaiah would have no clue as to know who the woman would be unless he was standing in front of her. That would be silly because I'm sure the rabbi would acknowledge that if I'm speaking prophetically about something and I specifically say the house, you know that I'm addressing a specific house in the future. The one. Again, the one that is a 2-story with the white picket fence and the red door. You're going to be very specific to know the house. It does not have to indicate that he's standing before her in order to know the virgin. Do you understand what this rabbi is saying? He's essentially saying that in the future sense, right, this cannot be spoken of someone in future because it's got the definite article. And if it's got the definite article, then it must be talking about someone in their time, right? It's a conversation that he's having between Ahaz and Isaiah. But does he hold that same energy when we go to Deuteronomy? Let's look. Ooh, what do we have here, Rabbi? Rabbi Singer, what is that? What is that? Is this a definite article in front of prophet? What is this? Ek, Hanavi, right? Ek, Hanavi, Asher. But the prophet that speaks, the prophet? How can you have the prophet that speaks when Moses is telling you how to identify a prophet in the future as well? And you know commentary, Jewish commentary that is, specifically says that this is not just a prophet in their time, but any future prophet. Oh, there's that definite article right there. Y'all have to remember that definite article is a problem for Christianity, according to Rabbi Singer. Seems like the definite article is a problem also for Judaism, according to Singer's logic, that is. But all funny and joke aside, is it really a problem for Christianity that Matthew doesn't say the virgin? Does Matthew understand Hebrew better than the rabbi? Let's look at something. And we'll call his name Emmanuel. Doesn't really say who or what, no pronouns, just will call. Septuagint and thou shall call, which could be a they, thou shall. Who's it talking to? JPS Tanakh and shall call his name Emmanuel. So the point that I'm getting at is it's not really a change if Matthew is simply picking up on the fact that someone, i.e. they, will call his name. So if you're wondering where that clip came from, it came from my response to Captain Dadpool with him using Tovia Singer's ridiculous logic here. So I responded to him. It's pinned here if you want to see it. But I want to show you, if you're not picking up what I'm laying down, let me show you a commenter that laid it out pretty good. So right here, you can see the entire point that I'm making is very clear in this comment right here. That biblical Hebrew syntax doesn't require a pronoun. So Tovia is not telling you that. Tovia is making it out like it has to be a she and that the Hebrew requires it. It doesn't. And so I said, yeah, you're right. That's the point. That's what I'm pointing out, that they, the anti-missionary Jews, aren't holding themselves to the same standard that they hold us to. And then they go out and put out this ridiculous information that people like Captain Dadpool and others pick up and perpetuate. Why are you learning this from me? Why isn't the rabbi telling you this? Why isn't the rabbi saying, listen, this really, the he, she thing, that's really not a problem? Well, maybe it's because the rabbi doesn't actually know. Maybe it's because like we see in the video where Alex takes him to school, Rabbi Singer versus Christian, Tovia Singer challenges street Christian evangelist Alex on Zechariah 12:10 and gets completely owned. Maybe he doesn't actually know the nuances of his own language, but then he should not be developing apologetics. That then people like Captain Dadpool and other non-believers are going to perpetuate when clearly the grammar allows for an interpretation showing that Matthew is far more correct than Rabbi Singer.
Mary never called him Emmanuel. In fact, she's instructed in the Annunciation to call him Jesus. So actually they changed that too. If you look carefully at Matthew.
This dude is just so entertained by the rabbi. Hey, Tovia, can you show me a place in the Hebrew Bible with a contemporary of Isaiah where someone was called Emmanuel? Please show me a child outside of the narrative of Isaiah there that was called Emmanuel. Sir, I'm waiting. I don't think. Please make a video. Please, because I don't think you'll be able to demonstrate that yet you're making and hurling that accusation against Christianity. And this guy is just utterly amused. Do you see, this is why I can boldly make the proclamation that Rabbi Singer is for the ignorant and unlearned in Judaism, because he appeals to only those whom are ignorant of the totality of what Judaism teaches and the Hebrew language, because he just tells you enough to get you hook, line, and sinker, and then he removes any of the truths that Judaism holds that are similar to Christianity, and or doesn't tell you about these nuances that would otherwise inform an interpretation. That's a problem, and I'm gonna continue to say that's a problem.
You feel good, you can't believe in a lie. And these are corruptions. I mean, if you, I, James, if any of us played with a legal document in the way that Matthew did, we'd go to jail for fraud.
Oh, you mean like you did with Hebrews 9:22. Let's look at it. Looky here. Hebrews 9:22 does not say the word atonement. Why are you playing with my Bible? Isn't that your tagline, Tovia? Why are you playing with my Bible? Let's look. Every single translation says forgiveness or purging. Where'd you get the word atonement, Rabbi? Where'd you get the word? Where's the word atonement here? Nothing. Remission, which means forgiveness. Remission, forgiveness. Rabbi, who's playing with what Bible? Rabbi, forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Who's playing with what Bible? What's this say? This says atonement, Rabbi. You put the word atonement here in your book. This is your book. Your book, Rabbi.
I mean, if you, I, James, if any of us played with a legal document in the way that Matthew did, we'd go to jail for fraud.
Looks like the rabbi's going to need some bail money.